Hey guys, welcome to my August reading journal update. I had, once again, no idea what to do. But as I was flipping through my stickers, I saw these beautiful sticker sheets and I told myself, you know what? It's the last chance to use these, so let's do that because I know myself. And I know I will be making autumnal and academia inspired spreads from now on, and I did not want to wait half a year to use these. So here we are. I also took a bunch of paper scraps and made myself believe it could all work together. And then I also found these corgi stickers, and yeah, they found their place in this too. First, I covered this page with different papers, and guys, I know this is kind of a weird setup because right next to the cover we have the last book of my July reading wrap-up, but I did not want to left this page blank, especially because I am not sure if this notebook will last me by the end of the year. Okay guys, unrelated, but I love my nails. They are so nice and fresh and autumnal, and I love them so much. I recently changed the nail salon, and even though they are very difficult to get the appointment at and are much pricier, I think it is well worth it. Just look at them, so nice. So anyway, paper and I added a bunch of stickers on top, and I did put the bigger ones on white paper to help them stand out more. It is a bit of a hassle to cut these and then put the glue on, but if you have transparent stickers and you want them to pop up from the page, I think this is a good way to do so. I think this cover page would have looked much better if these three stickers in the middle were bigger. And to be honest, I was not the big fan of this cover page when I finished it, but I came back today to do the voiceover and I kind of like it a lot. I took part in Battleathon in August, which means I tried to read a lot of books, and I actually did read 17 books and manga or webtoons, which is a lot. But I still read more in March, I think. I'll show you my story graph stats here, and you can see here that I have high and low months in reading. And if you have story graph, go ahead and follow me there if you like. I love seeing what other people are reading, and the link is always in the description. Here I am working on the calendar page and the list of books I read during the month. I had absolutely no plan for these pages, so I decided to use same papers as are on the cover page, and I also printed these titles because I really did not want to try my luck in pretty writing. I am okay with handwriting reviews, but doing titles and such is so difficult for me. For the list of books I read in August, I did a simple library card inspired design. This spread is quite bare for my liking, but I fear it will only look worse when I add a bunch more stickers, so I am keeping it like this for now. And here you can see how I work on my calendar and the list of books together. I thought it might be interesting to include this today as well. As you can see, I choose a color and highlight the book title, and I use the same color in the calendar, and if I finish that book during the month, I do also color in its number. If I did not finish the book, as is the case with the Atlas 6 I started on the last day of August, and you can see that in the last row in here, I do not color in the number. And now let's finally talk about books. And guys, this time I set myself a goal of using most of the stickers from my reusable sticker album, because I have truly forgotten about them. Our first page is for 2 books, and that are Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and The Raven King, the last 2 books in the Raven Boys series. And I listened to them back to back, so I can't really tell what was happening in which book. Well, I couldn't even talk about them much anyway, since these are later books in this series. But guys, these books are all vibes. I loved spending time with Blue and Adam and Ganzi and Ronan and Noah and everyone. They were all interesting in their own way, and I was never bored. The way Maggie Stiefvater has with words is absolutely marvelous. I want to go over all of the books again and tap and highlight all those incredible thoughts and scenes and banter. Oh my, the banter is so good. What I love about this series is that it took its time to love, to trust, to get to terms with oneself. It was all slow and painful, and I had a great time. And there were so many times I laughed so much. The friendships, love, self-discovery, adventure, sacrifice, different kinds of magic, violence, it is all there and so much more. And I guess I can call it double love triangle or something, I don't know. It all got resolved by the end of the book, but oh my god, I could feel the pain and uncertainty and so much love between these people. And I am not even talking about the main couple, but about the later one. If you read this, you know. And I loved seeing that, and I was so happy for them. And the best part is, it was taking almost full series to develop, and I am a fan, as you can tell. I loved this series so much. I bought all the books physically, and I was so lucky because I was able to get them secondhand, and they are in perfect shape. I am so glad I gave this series a chance. It was one of the most enjoyable series I have read this year. Okay, let's get to the next page and let's quickly do all the manga I read before we get to less exciting reads of the month. It was not all sunshine and rainbows, guys. First, we have 5 or more volumes of Solo Leveling. I say or more because I actually have no idea how many I have read, because these are not all released yet, and I read the last part online and it was so good. I rarely read that much manga during a month, but with this one I could not stop. I just had to know what happens next, and I was not disappointed. This is a story about Jin Sung, the lowest ranked hunter in the world, where gates are appearing and behind them are beasts which want to kill humans, and the hunters are trying to kill them before it's too late. And Jin Sung is attending these raids despite being the weakest because he has to support his family. But one day the raid unexpectedly turns and his fate turns with it. So good. I have not finished a full manga in such a short time since Naruto and Bleach. And that was a long time ago, and I read those because I was avoiding studying at university. There gets so much done other than studying when you actually need to study, right? And apart from Solo Leveling, I also read 3 volumes of Witch Hat Atelier, and while I like it enough, I am losing interest in this one, so I think I will take a break from it for now. Okay, let's go to the next page, and this is A Place for Long Shadow, the 3rd and last book in the Regency fairy tale series, and it is a historical fantasy romance with fairies, of course. I love the first line of synopsis. It sums up this book perfectly. Proper Regency ladies are not supposed to become magicians, but Miss Abigail Walder is far from proper. I just love this sentence so much. In this book we see many characters from 2 previous books, which was really nice, but to be honest, I enjoyed this book the least. It was okay, the story was kind of interesting, but the main twist, if you can say that, was obvious from the start, so it did not give the effect it should have. I was not excited to pick this book up, and it is only about 200 pages long, and it took me almost 2 months to finish, which is an awfully long time. Overall, this series is quite enjoyable, so if you are interested in fantasy romance with proper gowns and tea parties, I would recommend to check this series out. I have a small entry for the pile of bones on this page as well. It is a short story from the Legends of the First Empire series, and it follows Suri and Mina as they find a mysterious cave behind the waterfall. I finished this whole 6-book long series in May, and it was nice to go back for a little while. On the next page, we have Certain Dark Things, and I picked this up without knowing anything about the story, just because I like the cover. This is about vampires in Mexico City, and Atul, our main character, is trying to escape from a rival vampire clan. There are also bodies of people attacked by vampires piling up. There is police investigating all of that, and a scrawny human in which our vampire takes liking. And the beginning was very interesting. I had a great time until I didn't. I literally just stopped caring maybe a third in. I don't know, this was a weird experience for me, guys. So yeah, this has to go into category it was a book and I read it. I am also adding The Queen of Blood on this page because I did not enjoy it either. This is the book that made me annoyed, and I usually rate my books by how they made me feel, so you can expect not a high rating from me for this one. I sometimes don't really care about writing style or story or whatever, as long as I have a good time with the book. And now that I think of it, I should maybe start writing down one-word descriptions of each book. That might be interesting. Anyway, this is a young adult fantasy about a world where everything has a spirit. Tree leaves, water stream, wind, everything. But these spirits want to kill all humans, and there is only the queen who can stop this happening. But the queen is only a human, so anything can happen to her anytime. That's why there are schools for young girls to learn magic and to control spirits. So if something happens to the queen, there will be someone available to take her place immediately. This whole magic system and the world were amazing, and I loved learning more and more about all of that. But I did not care about anyone at all. Anyone. It was all just so bland. All the supporting characters, especially the girls in the school, just blended into one. Then there were suddenly some champions, and to this day I have no idea how they became ones. And also the relationships were just there, and the author did not make me feel nothing for those people, except, you guessed it, annoyance. As I said, I loved the world building, but it is not enough for me to continue with the series, sadly. This book is written by the Sarah Beth Durst, and she just published the Spell Shop, which everyone is just raving about, and I don't know what's going on. I think that was a nice coincidence, and maybe if you have read this Spell Shop already and want to read something else from the author, you can give The Queen of Blood a try, but I am not sure if you will enjoy it as much. Anyway, let's go to the next book, and I swear this is the last book I did not enjoy in August, and that is Juniper and Thorn. This is a book that I should have DNF'd. It is a gothic horror retelling of the Juniper tree, and I have never read that one, so I can't say how good a retelling this is. We follow three sisters who live with their abusive father in a city shifting from magic to industry, and Marlin Shan and her two sisters, who are the last witches in this area, are becoming more of an attraction or a tourist trap as they are trying to earn enough by treating their clients with archaic remedies. They are kept at home under the strict rules of their father, but one night they sneak out to a ballet theater where Marlin Shan meets a dancer and bam! Love at the first sight. And we hear very, very often how it is possible for this beautiful and talented dancer to fall in love with such a plain and ugly girl. So often, but do you know what is mentioned even more often? That she blushes. I swear if I had physical copy, that would be mentioned like every 5 pages. Even one of her sisters mentions it in the story with something like, if there was a man sawing off your leg, you would still blush at him. Yeah, pretty much. This is a very dark book, and there were some body horror moments as well, which I did not have a problem to read about, but they were the same scenes over and over and over, which, yeah, I think it might be the trauma depiction, but I did not vibe with the, let's say, execution. And the only thing I will say about the romance is that they were intimate on the floor, full of mirror shards. Yes. And none of them got hurt? None of them. And guys, I would have been able to talk about this book and how I did not like many aspects of it, but after I read some comments, I have realized that maybe some of it is going hand in hand with the traumas and all that, so I won't be commenting on it more, but it also does not change my feelings about this book and the execution of the story. And the last book for today, and I promise we will end on a good note. It is The Dragon Republic. It is the sequel to the Poppy War, which I liked the first half of because I love school settings and all of that. But then the story quickly shifted into something else and I was not enjoying it as much. So I went into the Dragon Republic being slightly apprehensive and I was fully prepared to DNF the series, which thankfully did not happen. I have finished the Poppy War over a year ago, and since then I have come to terms with where the story was progressing, and when I started reading the Dragon Republic, I was immediately on board. It took some time to figure out who is who, but once I got it down, I had a good time. I even started highlighting and tabbing the parts I liked. This story took on another whole dimension and it was a solid 3-star for me. Guys, 3 stars for me is a good book, don't panic. But the last 50 or so pages were so good, I bumped the rating to 4. Because it was so interesting, I could not believe my eyes and I could not stop reading. I want to read the last book in the series and I can only hope it won't take me another year. Anyway, let's do a quick flip through of all the pages we made today. This is the cover page and while I did not like it much when I finished it, I think it is growing on me. It is very, very busy and colorful, but all those stickers are so cute. Look at all these corgis. So pretty, and I love the colors of these stickers. Okay, now let's go to the calendar and list of books I have finished. It is very bare for my taste, but I think it will have to stay like this because I know myself and I know that I would just fill it up with many stickers, and that might not be the best course of action. So it will stay like this. If I add something in here later, I will definitely show you in my full flip through at the end of the year, but for now it is looking like this. Now let's go to the books. This spread looks really nice and I love this sticker. I've had this for years and years and I finally used it. I admit I could have used the same process as I have done with the cover page stickers when I added this white background, but yeah, I think it is still very nice. And I have this hot air balloon here because it just kind of fit the color scheme for me. And here are all the manga volumes I have finished. I decided to just rate them all together for both mangas or manhwas because I could not be bothered with adding rating to every single volume, especially when these ratings were almost always the same. I have these little titles in here and I just printed them on paper because I could not be bothered to try and write it down. I did so in July. I am so happy I tried to do the titles here, but honestly I could not be bothered in August because there were so many I would have to write. So I just printed them out and I could have printed them a bit bigger. I will have to think about that next time. So on the next page we have Long Shadow and I love this sticker. It's so cute. And the Pile of Bones. And then we have books I did not really enjoy, but I do enjoy the page I have made for this. I always try to match colors of the cover to the colors of my stickers. It is not always successful and sometimes it looks all a bit jarring, but I think this is okay. So we have a little space for certain dark things because I did not have that much to write about it. And the Queen of Blood has a slightly bigger space. I admit I could have write even more about this book, but I just did not want to think about it anymore. It was not my favorite, but I love what I did with this section for it, and I especially love these flowers in here. Okay, and now the irony of making the best page for the book I enjoyed the least. That's mostly because I love these colors and I have many stickers in similar colors, so I could just do whatever, and I loved adding all those 3 branches. And the last page is for the Dragon Republic, and I love this sticker so much. I added a bunch of swords in here and I could not pass the opportunity of using these drapes in here as well. This is not my favorite page, as I said, this one is. But when you look at this spread, I mean, look at this writing. I think it looks so good. I am so happy with this spread as a whole. And here I think I will do full statistics spread, but I did not have time for that yet, and my stats won't be accurate for August because of the solo leveling. Because, as I said, I have no idea how many pages I have actually read, so I will do that later, and if I do that, I will share it on my Instagram. If you want to see some of my other reading wrap-ups, I will share with you some of my favorite ones here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!